Hey guys, I'm back with the third color. The first video I went through and did the very first color, and that was purple. And then I went ahead and off camera I did green, so you can see the greens in there. And see how I layered that right over the purple, but yet I still have the purple coming through. So now my next color is the alizarin red. Alizarin? Yes. And as before, I chose these colors on the color wheel, complementary colors. You can go a square, a triangle, a rectangle. Just go in there and go color wheel combinations. So I was thinking last time I didn't show you, I think I've shown you, but it's been a while. So I'm going to show you guys actually how I mix the values. So I start with the base color, all right? And I get a piece of that off. So I take a piece of that off, clean my palette knife, and this is a smaller palette knife I like to mix with. And I already have my white over here, so I take a swipe of white and I mix that in. So go ahead and mix that in. Mix it all the way in so you don't have any streaks. Now, I think that's a little bit light, so I'm going to go back and add a little bit more dark. You want these values to be noticeably different. You don't want them too close in shades. I'll say the word shade. So I even think that's a little bit light, so I'm going to add a little bit more dark red. But basically, you're taking a little scoop from the previous color and adding a scoop of white. And add the same amount every time. Still trying to get this mixed in here. All right, so then what I do next, now I already have that mixed, so what I do next, there's still some on the back of my knife. I'm gonna mix that in a little bit. So there's still some on the back of my knife. So then I wipe that off, wipe my knife off, and I go in and get another scoop of white. And that will be my next value. And you should be able to tell that it's just a gradual lightening. All right, so there's my next one. Now I still have some on the back of my knife, so then I wipe that off right there for the next one, and I go ahead and grab a swipe of white. Oops. And that's gonna be my final color, and that should almost be white. It should be coming very close to white, but you can still see that red in there. Trying to get it into a pile. All right. So there you go. That's how you do it. You start here, you take a little swipe, put it here, add a swipe of white, and mix it. Then you take a swipe of this, put it here, a swipe of white, and you mix it. Take a swipe of this here, and you take and white and mix it. So that's just the process, guys. You're not going back to that dark color every time. So that is how you get the gradient colors. All right, so let's get busy. All right. So my First color I'm going to start with is red. Do I have it positioned okay? All right. So that's my darkest color. So I'm going to go in over all of the dark shaded areas and add this red in. Like I said, you don't want to completely cover it up. You want some of those other colors of the coming through, and that's where you get your bold colors. This I was struggling with before on the green. You can fast forward this if you want, but I'm going over all the darks with this dark red. To cover that up because I had a brush hair on my canvas. Try and catch those before they dry, because when you pull them off, they do leave a hole. So we're just gonna finish getting this on there. So if I stop talking, I'm just getting into it, so I apologize if I do. If you have to step away from it for a while, go ahead and step away. If you want to come back to it the next day, that's fine. I kind of, once I get started, I almost just like to keep going. I will step away and check messages or something like that, but I don't want to wait to the next day, because I almost feel like I get out of that zone, that feeling of the painting. Now, I don't know how I'm going to ground this yet, as far as, I have my background, but I still need to ground him. He's floating, so I still have to figure out what I want to do. Maybe I'll put, like, he's sitting in dirt or rocks or something. I don't know, maybe I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it while I'm painting, what's going to be best. It'll come to me. I'm looking for all the dark spots. There's one. I'll have to come back with a smaller brush up there and get his ear and a little bit of his eye. I'll come down and work his buttocks. His arse, I could say his arse. I was in one group once, and the lady, she didn't swear, so she always came up with different words for the for swear words or something, so. She was pretty funny. So I want to make sure, even though I can get in a zone in just staring at this, but I want to keep checking my reference photo, just to make sure that I'm keeping with that, because you can get tied up and staring at this and just going over the same places, but you may it may look different from what you first started, and your brain is thinking, oh, I remember doing it here, but go back and look at your reference photo, because you want to stay true to those shaded areas, those highlighted areas. And things like that, so. It gets fun at this point because you're more loose. When you get that first layer on, it's fun to, you know, just go. Just go. All right, now his arm. I know I had to rework some of that right up in here. Nope, right there. There's a line back here. This is more shaded. So I might stop right now and get some of that green back out. And I just want that dark green because I've lost that shadow back here for some reason. Yep, don't mind the cat. She knows when I'm on camera every time. Okay, so I'm gonna get carried away with this green, but there, that brings that shadow back in, and then it fades up to that area. All right. So I'm gonna need that to set up probably before I go back over it. So I'm gonna get my little one out and do a little bit up here. Not quite sure what I'm calling him yet. I have a lot of names in my brain, or a lot of words in my brain, but I'm not sure. Probably one will stand out when I get it all finished. So. Alright, so now I'm back to the bold red again, or the shadowing. It'll cover it. Not cover it, but go, you know, this was the dark area that somehow I've neglected, so I just wanted to go back over it with some of that green. There. Okay, so that really isn't that dark, so I'm going to try and fade that out. Down here. Let's see if I got all the dark areas where I want them. Let's go back over this again. Here. A little under his hairline. I've lost some of that. Spot right in there. Okay, so I think I'm ready to go to the next color. I think I want a little bit more red on the eye. Not really. Come up and around. All right. Now I'm going to go to the highlight. Clean my brush out really, really good. So, sorry, just trying to load my brush up the right way. All right, so the highlights, we gotta go back up here in the hair. Let's try and get rid of that line. Back of the neck. Shoulder. She's a talker. She's a talker. Okay, up in here and all there is. There's a little bit on that wrist. Okay, here. And put a little bit here. Okay, so I'm just going over, seeing if I've missed anything. I want to highlight down here a little bit. And of his toes. I need to do his face. Let's see. Did all of this. Okay, nose. Not nose, ear. Ear and ear. Ear and ear. Really? Really? Okay. I think I'm done with the highlights. I want to go back over here with some dark green and see if I can't get that to cover up, because it's showing white through there and I don't like it. There. Oop. I dabbed too much. I'll do it again. All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so now I am doing the next to dark midtone. You don't have to use 4 colors. You can use 2, you can use 3, you can use 5, but I chose 4 for this one. Generally, I think I've used 3. I used 5 on one, but I think 3 and 4 are my comfortable color, or comfortable numbers. So now I'm going to come in with this medium. Blend it into that. sometimes you can just scrub it with these short bristle brights. You can almost use them as a scrub brush to scrub that color in there. Kind of bring it over into your other value. Like I'm bringing it up into the light and bringing it into the dark. Remember, you still have the light yet to do, so. Add some into his ear. Maybe a little bit into his brow. I think I want to bring that up though. Okay, let's see where else. You see what I'm doing? I'm going back over that same value. So on the very beginning, the purple, I went over the same colors of each value as I went down. So stay with 4 all the way through all your colors and just layer them. And you're gonna see all these colors come through. I can still see purple in there. And so that's where you get your bold color. Don't paint it solid. Just do loose brush strokes and kind of a dry brush stroke type of technique. So you can see the under painting that you started with. So but that's what we're doing here. So then the last one that I have, let me look at this arm here. There's a little bit here. I'm gonna bring forward. Okay, so the last color or value I'm going to use is that second to the lightest that we did. And then I will do the yellow off camera and show you the result. And hopefully you guys understand a little bit more about that. Bold color values, you know, using your values and layering them, and hopefully you can understand a little bit more about that. I did have a request about it, so I hope you guys enjoy that and have fun with it. And I got too much water, I don't want it runny. And I'm gonna finish up this last value, and then we will color good. A little carried away on the foot here, so I'm going to try and mellow that out a little bit. Okay, so in between here. It really doesn't take a whole lot once you get those first layers in. closer. So I'm just gonna go back over and see if I've got everything there I want it. And it's looking good, guys. So I'm gonna sign off on this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the yellow off camera and look at all the layers. Maybe I can give you a close-up here. You can see all the layers underneath. You have purple, green, red so far, and you can see all of them in there. So then my last color is going to be yellow, and it's this yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and do that and do some touch-ups, and I'll be back with the final result and let you guys see it. So you guys, I hope you're having fun with this. It's basically very simple concept. Once you get it, like I said, you can do I recommend 3 to 5 color strings. And that's what I'm talking about. When I say color strings, I mean this. I call them color string. It's called color strings. So you start with your dark, add white, add white, add white. Okay? And that's basically how you do it. And then you can always go back in and touch things up if you don't like it, and go from there and do your details very last. So, and go to the color wheel and find your complementary colors or your color combos there. And the color wheel, Google it, it shows great examples. So you guys take care and God bless. Let me see your artwork. We would love to see it. Please share and ask any questions along the way if you need help. Bye, guys.